So relocating to a new city can be an overwhelming process, especially if you're unsure on which locations best suit your needs. The city of Portland has many sensational neighborhoods, but maybe you should consider moving outside the city to get more for your money and an enhanced quality of life. So if you're planning on a move to the Portland metro area, but you're not sure which town or city or location is best for you, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to guide you through all of the best alternatives to living in Portland, Oregon. So hello and welcome, I'm David Backholer. I'm a real estate broker based here in Portland, Oregon, and my goal is to help you find your perfect home here. Now, I'm not just a real estate broker, I'm also a homeowner, I'm a landlord of both short and long-term rentals. I'm also a seasoned renovator and house flipper. So not only will I be able to help you find a home that suits your needs, I'll also be ensuring it's a wise investment too. So with that in mind, if you're thinking of moving anywhere across the Portland metro area, then you do need to reach out to me. Give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you through the process. Okay, so now let's get on with the topic of today's video and talk through all of the best alternatives to living in Portland, Oregon. Okay, so let's go through our map tour. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to take a look at everything on the outskirts of Portland. We're going to have reasonably close proximity, and we'll start west of Portland and work our way around counterclockwise. So west of Portland, the biggest city here is going to be Beaverton. Beaverton has approximately 100,000 population of around 100,000 people. It's one of the biggest cities just on the outskirts of Portland overall. A couple of areas in Beaverton to know about. Firstly, Nike's head office is in Beaverton. It's right here, I believe, right where this little lake is. Nike employ around 11,000 people somewhere in that at this location. So you'll find many people who live in Beaverton, Hillsboro, Portland, Lake Oswego, all these surrounding areas that will commute into Beaverton on a daily basis. So it's something to really be aware of. And with Beaverton and Nike in particular, you'll find because it's such a big employee in the area, the culture of that health and wellness spreads throughout all of Beaverton and those surrounding areas. So you'll find many upscale gyms, walking trails, paths. There's Bike Town, which is the bike sharing program, which is scattered throughout all of the Portland metro area as well. So this entire area is very good for people who really care about that health and wellness. In terms of housing in Beaverton, there's a real mix. There's a real mix from small condos, because this is a tech hub as well. So you find kind of a lot of condos, townhomes in the area, and then some newer single-family homes. Beaverton itself has really been developed over the last 50 years. You're not going to find many of those older historical homes here, but you'll find kind of a lot more than newer ones. South Cooper Mountain down here, you'll find a lot of new construction as well. So on the outskirts of Beaverton, there's brand new homes. In terms of price points, you can find single family homes for in the mid 500s. You can, and it goes up to $1 million for larger homes. Condos, townhomes, under 400,000, depends on the location, but overall, Beaverton's going to be a more affordable place than certainly places in Portland overall, but still very desirable because of that specific lifestyle. If I had to say one negative thing about Beaverton, is it doesn't have that older historic walk-in downtown area. It's kind of one of those places where you tend to drive everywhere rather than walk through the neighborhoods, unless you're working out, unless you're having that healthy lifestyle. So that's kind of the high-level overview on Beaverton. If you live in Beaverton and you want to get into, say, downtown Portland, maybe around 20 minutes. And then school systems in Beaverton are also very highly rated as well. So a lot of people move to Beaverton for those highly rated schools. So overall, Beaverton, good houses, good quality of life, slightly more affordable than Portland, great schools, there's some nice parks in Beaverton as well. Okay, so let's move on to a couple of other areas. West of Beaverton, you have places like Aloha and then Hillsboro. Hillsboro's got several kind of really great neighborhoods. This does have kind of a walkable neighborhood right down here. It's small, but there is a few places along here, kind of a walkable town, which Beaverton has a few little places like this, but not really to scale. It's more kind of those strip malls and nice stores overall. So Hillsboro's kind of got that right around Main Street. Two residential neighborhoods that I really want to call out. One is Jackson School, beautiful homes up around here. You see, if I just put this guy down here, you can see it's kind of very much a residential neighborhood, kind of lots of single family homes around here. There's kind of a good park, there's a good community here. And then secondly, on the southeast side of Hillsboro, you have Reed's Crossing, which is located right here. This is Reed's Crossing, and I released back in December a couple of videos on Reed's Crossing. One that talked about Reed's Crossing, the area specifically, and then a second one that did some property tours. The reason why I'm calling out Reed's Crossing is this is Oregon's largest master plan community that's currently being developed, actually has ever been developed in Oregon. Huge number of homes. You've got variety of builders, 5 or 6 main builders. You can see David Weekley, Richmond American are here as well. Holt Homes are here. There's several others in this area. You've got this area right here, the Providence Hospital is right here. This part here, it's still under construction. This is going to be that main town center shopping area. Again, it's not being built yet. Some of these homes have already been built. It's a 10-year project, 3 or 4 years already into that. But you can see other neighborhoods have already been planned out, but not yet built. So if you're looking for brand new homes in an area that really prioritizes green spaces, in a great community, great school, nice new modern vibe, Reed's Crossing is definitely going to be a top pick. Again, it's got beautiful kind of green spaces throughout the entire neighborhood. One other neighborhood actually in Hillsboro I should mention is Orenco Station. This is very modern. This is more kind of those apartment buildings above, places to get food, bites to eat. Right around here, for example, you'll see, I think I put it here. You can see kind of these apartments, condos, and then there's shops and restaurants kind of on the ground floor. I think this is one of the patisseries. The Provence is right here. So it kind of gives you an idea, kind of a cool, newer, modern vibe overall. Okay, so those are the two main cities, Beaverton and Hillsboro, which is west of Portland. A couple of other unincorporated areas that I really want to call out because they're incredibly popular. Oak Hills and Bethany. Let's start off with Oak Hills. Oak Hills is a master plan community, but it was built in the 70s and 80s, mainly around that time. Some homes from the 90s as well. So what you'll find with Oak Hills is beautiful kind of green trails throughout the neighborhood. You have a kind of green belt throughout the entire area. There's really good school system in this area as well. And then right here you can see the Oak Hills Recreation Center. There's a swimming pool in this area, and you've got tennis courts, there's sports fields here, and it's a very walkable filled with green belts. You'll see many houses along here overlook these green belts, and it's a really picturesque and pretty area. In fact, I just represented a client who bought a home here. It looked right overlooking this kind of green belt area. They have a wonderful fireworks display. But overall, Oak Hills is going to be very popular if you're looking to be within close proximity of downtown. Again, it's about 20 minutes drive into downtown from Oak Hills. Could be a little bit more, but maybe around 20-25 minutes in rush hour to get into downtown Portland. I mentioned it already, Nike's head office is in Beaverton. Houses in Oak Hills actually have a Beaverton address, but it's kind of an unincorporated area, but you're in very close proximity to Silicon Forest. But overall, pretty area, great community, because this is kind of this, you'll see there's only a few roads, this one here, there's one down here, and there's one up here to get into this neighborhood. Everything else, you're inside it. So it's not like it's through traffic. It's a really pretty area filled with green belts and green spaces. The second area that I want to talk about, just north of Oak Hills, is Bethany. And I've talked about Bethany many times on my channel. I think Bethany is a fantastic option. There's a few different parts of Bethany I recommend. One is this area right here. This is on the golf course. Now, this is the Claremont part of Bethany. This is a 55 plus community. So what that means is one of the permanent residents of the property must be at least 55 years old, and it also means that there cannot be any permanent residents who are under the age of 18. So it sets kind of a more the demographic, people who are slightly older, and it's not quite like a retirement community, but it's more that kind of quieter, you won't see many kids on the area, and it's a real good community vibe because you've got this really pretty golf course throughout the area, and then you have a clubhouse in the area too, which is on the south part here. So you'll see the Claremont golf course, which is the whole area. You've got pools, tennis courts, there's I think this is bowls, I can't remember what's here, but yeah, and then at that clubhouse they have so many different events every evening. There's bridge or games or something. But again, it's a slightly different demographic that's going to live here, a slightly older demographic. So if you're looking for more like a retirement community that's still very active, you have your own home. It's not like it's a retirement village. In fact, let me just show you a couple of the properties in the area. This could be a really strong option. You'll see most of the homes along here are going to be single story. There may be a few that are not, but these are still good quality homes, larger homes, and this is kind of one of those premium kind of retirement communities in the area, or at least 55 plus community in the area. Now, Bethany also has this kind of main shopping area right here. So you have a QC grocery store, which is really, really nice. And then a couple of different restaurants right along here. So let's put our little guy down here. Bethany's table is kind of like a little bistro on the corner. You see it's right here. And you'll see, also there is kind of these condos above the shopping area. But it's kind of a nice, it feels kind of a premium place to live in Bethany. Really nice and charming. Now, there's also new construction going on in Bethany. So North Bethany, right up here, there's two major builders in this North Bethany area. So one of you got the Toll Brothers. They tend to make the more premium luxury properties. So you can expect to see slightly high-end properties. So they've got the Hosford's Farms development. And I've done property tour videos of this area as well, going into the interior, so it gives you an idea of what those homes look like. So look out my channel for those. And then just on the other side of Kaiser Road, you have another new development, and this is done by Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison, another national builder. They have, I think, the country's best reputation for satisfied home buyers. So it's people who have bought a property and they're incredibly satisfied with the product. They're a little bit more affordable than Toll Brothers, but it doesn't mean that they're any less quality. You can see they've done a lot of development here already, but then just north of that, they've got still years more to go. And then you can see just how green the area is. People live in Bethany because they like proximity to Forest Park, and that's kind of what this entire area right around here, as you see, this is all like Forest Park, beautiful greenland area. Very walkable trails. In fact, you've got walkable trails throughout all the entire neighborhoods right along here. For example, the West Side Trail goes all the way down into Beaverton, so lots of hiking trails within the specific area as well. And then parts of Bethany, let's just go back to this view. Parts of Bethany can be very hilly, and you're going to have some fantastic views. So let's just take a look, I think right around this area perhaps. Let's just put our guide down and see if this is the area I'm thinking of. You'll see it's kind of hilly, so if we spin around. Yeah, some homes, it depends which way you're looking, are going to have some views because they're up higher up on a hill. So it kind of gives you an idea on what you can expect in Bethany. Bethany overall is a very popular area. Good schools again, great schools actually. Great views, good shopping area, good green spaces, and again, overall, it's a nice, charming place to be. So check out some of my videos on Bethany. So overall, if we think about west of Portland, the couple of main places that are close in are going to be Bethany and Oak Hills, Beaverton, and then Hillsboro. And there's plenty of other places, but those are the main ones for you to consider. Now, if you want to go further west and you're okay with being a couple of hours away from Portland, then you're going to be hitting the Oregon coast. And there's several beautiful places along the Oregon coast, but the two main ones I think you should consider, especially more if you're thinking of a vacation home or a place to kind of live, is Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach is the most premium place along the Oregon coast. You'll have fantastic views. The town itself, in fact, let's just scroll in a little bit further. There's several parts of the town. You have the north area, the mid area, and then the southern part. But right around the northern part, you've got lots of little restaurants, shops, art galleries. Like I say, it's more kind of an upscale town area. Good places to eat. And then the beach itself is absolutely beautiful. You've got Haystack Rock, which is right here. You can see it's very, very picturesque, and this is kind of something the Oregon coast is really famous for, especially Cannon Beach. So beautiful homes, and you will have houses right on the ocean front, and they are expensive. Cannon Beach is going to be the most expensive place along the Oregon coast. So you can see these are houses. If we spin around, that's Haystack Rock. You kind of got this green area to protect the sand from washing away, and then you got the sand directly at the other side. So overall, this is going to be these homes are going to be several $1 million. They're not cheap homes. They're definitely on that higher end, definitely. Okay, so that's kind of Cannon Beach. There's, like I say, several areas. The one negative thing, depending on your perspective, some people might not have a problem with it, is that Cannon Beach can feel a little bit touristy, especially in the summer months. There's plenty of hotels along here, motels, and it's a place a lot of people flock to during the summer because it's probably the closest place to Portland. So a 90-minute drive really to get you into Cannon Beach. So it can feel a little crowded, especially the northern part of Cannon Beach. South of the area, it feels a little bit quieter. You've got Torvana in the area. This area down here, a little bit quieter, but then it's not quite so walkable to get to the main kind of shopping area, which is in the north section. And then there's also a smaller section right kind of in the middle as well. Okay, so that's just kind of a little heads up on Cannon Beach. Now, further south of Cannon Beach, you have my personal favorite, and I've released videos on this there as well, but my personal favorite town on the coast, and that's Manzanita. This is about an hour and a half, an hour and 45-minute drive from Portland, depending on what part of Portland you're in, and it's much quieter than Cannon Beach, but it still has a real nice beachy charm. There's only a couple of small motels, small inns, rather than large upscale hotels. So what you tend to find here is that people would rent an Airbnb here instead. So therefore, the vibe is that it tends to be more larger families or larger groups, people kind of hanging out, rather than this kind of large touristy area. So it keeps the population down even during the peak summer months. So Laneda Avenue is this street along here. There's several great restaurants. Yoke is a fantastic brunch spot. Neoconi Bistro, one of the few evening dinner spots along here. There's a couple of others, but that's kind of the main street along here is Laneda Avenue. And then let's see if we can get kind of a little view of the actual coast itself. Absolutely beautiful coast. You can see there's homes along here, and this one is an inn. But you can see just beautiful, and the sand, the beaches along here are incredibly walkable. It's kind of flat, so it's not on a strange slope, and most of it is very compact as well, so it's very easy to walk on. You can cycle on it as well. There's a place in town where you can rent bikes and cycle on the sand, so it's overall is a beautiful area. Now, a couple of things about properties in Cannon Beach, in Manzanita. It's a little bit more affordable than Cannon Beach, but it's not cheap. You may find a couple of homes under $1 million, $800,000-$900,000. That's kind of the starting point. There is some new construction going on as well. It's right in this area, right around here, a little bit further away. But overall, homes that are 2 or 3 blocks from the ocean probably start at $700,000-$800,000. Small homes oceanfront are going to be, $1 million plus, $1.5 million. And then this area up here, let's see if we can see it. You'll see it starts to get away from kind of a more grid system, more into slightly more bendy circular roads. This is the meadows. You have a lot of homes here. This is where the luxury homes are because the views are absolutely staggering. Can we get a little guy here? We can't because it's kind of actually private entry. You see, you actually enter from the 101 down here. There is, I believe, kind of a walking path down here, but you can't drive from this area into this area without going back onto the 101 and then coming back in. But these homes are luxurious, large properties, absolutely sensational views up here. But they're going to be, $1-2 million up here. So this is not a necessarily affordable area, but if you want something of a premium view, this is going to be the best place and probably the best place along the coast. Okay, so before we move on to the next city, I wanted to remind you that every week I release new videos on what it's like to live across the Portland metro area. So if you're thinking of moving here, I do recommend you subscribe to my channel. That way you'll always receive the latest up-to-date information. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please do help me out and show some support by clicking that like button. And then don't forget to reach out to me if I can help you with your move here. Okay, so now let's move on to our next city. Okay, so that's the Oregon coast. Now let's just move our way back into close proximity to Portland. And we're now going to take a look at some of the best places which are south of Portland. And let's start with Lake Oswego. Lake Oswego is another one of those very premium cities. I think this is actually probably the most expensive city to live in Oregon overall. The lake itself is beautiful. It is a public lake, and it's important to make that point. However, there's been a lot of legal action recently about making this lake more accessible to members of the public. And the reason why that's been going on is because if we look closer in, you'll see the area is surrounded by luxury, high-end, large homes, large estates. This one right on the corner here, wow, look at this one. You'll see not only do they have the main home, but they've got a second property and then a kind of a pool house as well, right on the lake. And even though it's supposed to be a public lake, access to the lake is really impossible if you're just a general member of the public. Only in this area, actually, right around here, can you even see the lake, plus a couple of areas if you're driving along. But Lake Oswego, incredibly affluent area. These homes that are lakefront estates, multiple $1 million, $2-3 million. and they can go, you know, $6, $7, $8 million for those really large estates with, you know, 6,000-7,000 square feet of property, and then, you know, a quarter of an acre of land or more. Not only are you on the lake though, but you also have the Willamette River, and this is a lot more accessible. You can kind of get down here. There's plenty of parks, not just Foothills Park, but also down here as well, George Rogers, and there's walking trails along here, and it's really pretty overall right down the river, so it's a good spot to put your kayak in and kind of hang out on the river. Now, Lake Oswego has a kind of a cute little shopping downtown area here. It's really adorable actually, and in fact let me put a little guy down right around here. There's a lovely little patisserie on the corner right behind us right here. There's restaurants up above. You can't quite see it from this picture, but the lake is just the other side here. Nice bistros and restaurants on the corner, and then it's kind of got this a mix of a modern feel, and sometimes it reminds me of like a ski chalet town in times. Just kind of the trees, the fir trees, and kind of the modern vibe. But then you've got all the things you need. You've got a Safeway up on the corner, plenty of kind of nice premium shopping along here as well. And then just north of Lake Oswego, you have First Edition, which is the area right around here on the main part of the screen. Older homes, attractive homes, a very desirable neighborhood because it is in close proximity and walkable distance to this kind of shopping area here. And this is very expensive. Again, this is not a cheap city. You can probably expect a 2,000 square foot home to cost over $1 million in this neighborhood. So significantly more expensive than the average property, you know, in the Portland metro area. Average property in Portland is under $600,000. So this neighborhood itself to be, you know, over $1 million gives you kind of an idea on the level of premium and what you can expect from First Edition. Not everywhere on Lake Oswego is that expensive. The southern side tends to be a little bit more affordable, but you'll have a hard time to find a single family home in Lake Oswego for under $1 million. Now, there are townhouses, there are condos which are significantly more affordable. You can find some great townhouses, or great condos at least, right by the river for under $300,000. So it is still some options there for you, but this is definitely going to be an area you're going to pay extra for. The country club here, that alone has a $50,000 fee to join the club, and then there's annual fees as well. So that kind of gives you the level of what you can expect. If you're looking for a real upscale premium area, Lake Oswego is truly beautiful. So now let's talk about a few areas which are perhaps a little bit more affordable, certainly more affordable than some of the parts of the coast and Lake Oswego. Tualatin, right here. Tualatin's really pretty. There's a few things about Tualatin. It feels very suburban. You've got access to the lake again here, sorry, access to the river in Tualatin. And, you know, it's got, you know, the park is right here. So you have walking trails right along the Tualatin River. This is a really nice park because there's plenty of like pickleball courts in this area as well. If I just put a little guy down, you can see, yeah, right here. And then the houses in Tualatin are a good mix of townhomes, and it feels quite modern in some of the houses as well. So overall, really, really cool. Now, in terms of shops, just north of the river, Bridgeport Village is a real good mix. It's an open air, kind of a higher end premium shopping area. And I've put some B-roll on the screen now so you can kind of see for yourselves. But it's a very, it's a place people from Portland will drive to go shopping. It's one of those kind of more premium areas. Plenty of options in this area as well. So Tualatin, to summarize Tualatin, good schools, good shopping, feels more like the suburbs, so it doesn't feel quite so crowded and busy like places in Portland or places in Beaverton or Hillsboro even. But overall, a nice vibe about it, good place for that kind of outdoor living and walkability, and plenty of hiking and outdoor life with great trails. Okay, so moving on from Tualatin, let's go a little bit southwest and talk about Sherwood. Sherwood is probably one of my favorite cities outside of Portland for several reasons. Firstly, if we put down our satellite view instead, you'll see just how green it is on the outskirts of Sherwood. Reason being is that this is the heart of wine country. There's so many different vineyards in this area, and then down the entire Willamette Valley, there's so many different places for great vineyards and tasting rooms. Sherwood has the largest high school, I think, in the entire state. It's right out here. Sherwood High School. Really new, modern vibe. In fact, looks very new and clean the way this has been done. Look how many different sports fields they have overall. It's a real, I think it's one of the biggest in terms of attendees. So very, very good school system. Sherwood has a excellent school system overall. And then the cute little town area, there's like 2 or 3 blocks. It's not huge, but there's 2 or 3 blocks here where you can kind of walk around, good little places to get a bite to eat, charming little areas, few little cafes. There's a good library just down here on the corner, just down the street right here. Sherwood has some very nice parks as well. Snyder Park is a really popular place. I'll put some B-roll up some time I had in there, but overall it's quite hilly as well, so you'll have some fantastic views when you're in the park. In terms of property prices and kind of homes in Sherwood, there is quite a lot of new construction, mainly on the south side. You've got David Weekley Homes. I think you also have Holt Homes just west of that somewhere. It's along here. Again, I put videos out on my channel for those. You can expect homes starting around 600,000, 700,000 for some of the new construction. Again, all these areas are going to be a little bit more affordable than places like Portland. So the further you get out of Portland, the more affordable it is, but Sherwood is kind of another one of those top picks. Now, just south of Sherwood, in southwest I should say, is Newberg. Newberg's really pretty, and I don't think it gets enough attention. Firstly, the Willamette River is right here, really pretty area. You can get down here, put your kayaks in the river, and overall it's a beautiful area. There's a couple of big universities. George Fox University is pretty big here as well. And then there's a couple of streets, First Street, where you can find a few different places to get a bite to eat, and shops as well. And it's kind of got the older vibe overall as well. So kind of a nice, charming little downtown area. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this whole area is surrounded by vineyards. So if you're looking for those kind of be a little bit further out in the suburbs and therefore have surrounded by kind of greenery, this is going to be a good option for you. In terms of property prices in Sherwood, I actually just worked with a client to purchase a home in Newberg. I believe the home was around just over 2,000 square feet, and they bought it for $530,000. So kind of gives you an idea on kind of what you can expect in this area. Again, more affordable here than places like Sherwood and other areas. So Newberg, a great pick for a little bit more affordable options, but still having a great quality of life overall. Okay, so now another top pick, which is south, kind of south of Portland, and it's Wilsonville, and especially the Charbonneau district. So Wilsonville is south of Portland. You see Lake Oswego, Tualatin, so it's a little bit further south overall. There's a couple of great reasons to live here. One is you've got great parks, Memorial Park, absolutely beautiful, access to the Willamette River, great place to go kayaking or sitting out. There's a couple of different neighborhoods. I'll talk about Charbonneau in a minute. That's kind of the main one. But up here, kind of in the northwest section of Wilsonville, this is the Villebois neighborhood. Newer homes, has a modern vibe, lots of parks, community pools. In fact, let's just put our little kind of right down. You'll see lots of parks. The homes, it's kind of like a newer development overall. The homes are a mix from townhomes and then single family homes, but kind of a real green vibe around here. Has a good feeling about it, a nice community. And they did a nice job. It wasn't just a case of putting as many homes in an area to really build it up. You can see there's a kind of a community pool right here. And it's kind of a good HOA that kind of works with this area. So it's Villebois. It's kind of a good neighborhood. The Lowry Primary School, very highly rated as well. That's right in the middle of the neighborhood. And now let's talk about Charbonneau. This is, honestly, if I was to move outside of Portland, I'd probably move here. I'd probably move to the Charbonneau area. The reason being is it feels like a resort in a way. Firstly you'll see it's on 27-hole golf course, so the Charbonneau golf course. And Charbonneau is a mix of, you'll find some townhomes here. There's some parts of it which are a 55 plus community, not all of it. There's a mix of larger homes, smaller homes. There's certainly things I like, which is, in fact I can't see you right now, but there's so many little swim pools in the area, community pools in the area. There's one right there, there's one out here. And therefore, because there's so many, none of them feel particularly busy. And then the homes themselves are all going to be kind of overlooking the golf course. So you'll have homes here with fantastic views. And then also there's right next to where the golf club is, you've got this kind of little community area right here. So there's a couple of little stores. In fact, we can't quite see. I'll put some B-roll up, some time I spent there. But you've got like a little bakery, a place to grab a massage. There's also a bar here as well, I believe, or a place right along here. They're not showing all the items up. There's 4 or 5 different great places along here. So it's kind of a central place for the community to really gather. Now, if you're a golfer, I like to golf. I probably golf once a year at the moment. But if you're a golfer or just like looking at green space, this is going to be such a fantastic place for you. Like I say, there's 3 separate 9-hole golf courses, 27 holes of golf right here. But not only that, you also have this area right here, separate golf course. This is Langdon Farm, so another fantastic golf course. This is like very high-end golf course right here as well. So green spaces, good pools, nice community. There's no through traffic here because it's just specifically for the neighborhood itself. Charming little area, nice community. You're on the Willamette River. There's some good shops kind of nearby as well. And then you can see just how green the surrounding areas are. So yeah, I could say if I honestly was to leave Portland and stay somewhere in close proximity, I think I would pick probably Charbonneau because of the green spaces overall. So a fantastic area, one that I highly recommend if you're considering moving to the Portland metro area. Okay, so just east of Charbonneau, we have Canby. Canby is another very top pick. Canby is small. There's not a great deal there, but it's a charming old school farming town that's kind of becoming a little bit more upscale, a little bit more, not trendy, but there's a little bit more there in terms of nice cafes, food, places to eat. In terms of great things to see and do in Canby, the Swan Island Dahlias, it's kind of a farm up the top here. Just beautiful fields overall of flowers. It's absolutely spectacular. So you'll see that kind of Swan Island Dahlias. The main little town area is just north of the Pacific Highway, right around here. And you'll see it's 2 or 3 blocks big. It's not huge, but there's a few places to get a bite to eat, or a backstop bar. It's kind of like a pub grill, kind of a more casual vibe. Siren Song is a nice modern bar, and then you've also got kind of Cutsford's Market, a grocery store on the corner here, and then south of the First Avenue, actually along First Avenue, you've kind of got more of your traditional strip mall areas, your Starbucks and kind of Safeway, Dollar Tree, more of those more traditional strip mall type stores along there as well. And then there's a lot of new construction going on in Canby, kind of on the south part along here, and also just kind of on it's around here somewhere, right around this northeast part of Canby. Right close to the little shopping town area, you'll find homes, a lot of single-story homes actually right along here. So a lot of homes perhaps from the 60s, 70s along this area overall. And then there are, this kind of vibe. And then there are also newer homes a little bit east of here. But Canby is a kind of a good community, quieter. If you're looking to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life, Canby is a fantastic little pick because it's a nice farming town. And again, let me just zoom out a little bit. A nice farming town, but it's kind of expanding with some really nice houses. And then if you're looking for a little bit more land, then right around here you got some kind of the old farms. You got a fantastic golf course here as well. And again, once again, many of these places I'm recommending are on the Willamette River. There's a great park here, the Marla River State Park. And then of course the Canby Ferry. This is a car ferry. Let's see if we can get a picture of this. A car ferry that takes you across to the other side. In fact, it's just one vehicle on the ferry right here. So really cool place. So if you're looking for charming area, green spaces, great trees, outdoor life, Canby is another one of those little top picks. It's very affordable here. You can comfortably find a nice single family home for under $500,000. So overall, Canby's a great pick. In terms of things like amenities, it's probably going to take you about 30 minutes to get into Portland, maybe a little bit more. Wilsonville is kind of closer. You've got Oregon City, Lake Oswego, which are kind of close by in terms of larger areas in the near area as well. And then one other town south of Portland, this is quite a long way south of Portland, that I refer to as kind of a top pick on my channel over the years, is Dallas, Oregon. So you have Salem here. Salem is about 1 hour south of Portland. And then Dallas is probably another 15-20 minutes to the west of Salem. So from Dallas to Portland, it can take an hour and a half. It can take a little bit less than that, but more than that in rush hour. So it's not somewhere I would recommend if you have to commute into Portland. But if you're looking to be somewhere in Oregon, somewhere in this vicinity, but looking for something very affordable with great amenities, and Dallas is seriously a great pick. And there's a few reasons for that. One is on the east part of Dallas, right around here, you have so much new construction going on. So you'll find very affordable, newer construction homes in this area. Okay, so Fowler Homes and Hayden Homes in this area have done quite a lot of work. Fowler Homes definitely one of the larger ones in this area. So you'll find lots of new construction going on right here. You have the Dallas Aquatic Center in this area as well. It's right around here somewhere, right here. I think there's like 7 different pools. It's a really big place, obviously great for kids. Good sports fields in the area as well. You've also got kind of decent schools in this area. And then just outside of Dallas, up here I believe it's about a 15-minute drive, is Spirit Mountain Casino. I think this is one of the largest casinos in all of Oregon. It's huge. It's kind of a fun place to go. You obviously stay the night there, but it's kind of a big, more modern casino vibe there as well. They have lots of concerts. It's it's not a small one. It's definitely a lot on the larger end with some big name people who come and perform there. Now, there is a kind of a cute little area in Dallas for, again, good places for food overall. Downtown area is kind of cute and adorable. Court Street is a good kind of a vibe overall down here. This is kind of the main City Hall area. There's a gym along here, but yeah, kind of a charming place. It kind of gives you an idea on kind of what to expect. And again, one of the big appeals of Dallas is the affordability, but you're still getting a nice quality of life in this area. So you can find homes in the low 400,000s, perhaps for like a 1,700 square foot home, low to mid $400,000. So definitely a lot more affordable in Dallas compared to Portland, Oregon. You'll have a hard time finding that sort of home in Portland. Okay, so let's continue to work our way east, and we're a little bit closer into Portland now. So we've talked about places like Lake Oswego, Wilsonville and Canby. Let's go a little bit east of that and look at West Linn. West Linn, an adorable, wonderful place. I love West Linn, and there's kind of a couple of different areas to West Linn to really call out. So this area right here, basically north of the 205, you're going to find quite hilly. So houses up here have some kind of some gradient to them, and they'll be looking down kind of as you get towards the river. So kind of looking from the top of West Linn up here, kind of east and south towards the river that takes you down the hill. So you'll have houses up here with some good views. They can be a little bit newer homes up here in the last 20 years perhaps, and they're larger, attractive homes overall. You've got fantastic schools. The Sunset Primary School right here, very highly rated school. You've got the West Linn High School to the east here, again a fantastic, highly rated school. So schools in West Linn are great. West Linn, I highly recommend it. Now the second area of West Linn is Willamette, and the story actually is Willamette used to be a separate town, but about 100 years ago West Linn and Willamette combined to become the new version of West Linn, but it still feels quite different, Willamette, compared to the other areas. The reason being is that this entire area right here is much older. It's got homes that are 100 years older or more, and then it has such an adorable, charming, beautiful little town area along the Willamette Falls Drive. So in fact, we've just put our little guy back down here on the street, see if we can get a feel for it. Yeah, it's such a beautiful kind of old town vibe. Very walkable. West Linn is another one of those slightly more premium destinations, premium neighborhoods. So affordability is going to be a little bit more expensive to live here than other areas, but a lot cheaper than somewhere like Lake Oswego, for example. So great place to be. And then just south of Willamette Falls Drive, these neighborhoods here are really, really pretty, really charming homes along here as well. Some of the kind of, oops, I've gone down that alleyway. Kind of charming little homes along here overall. So yeah, really pretty. Look at this one on the corner here, just that older, charming vibe. Okay, so I love this little area south of West Linn, of the main eatery area. You got some nice homes, you got some kind of older vibe. Now, you are once again on the Willamette River, and you can see for yourself actually you're on two different rivers, the Tualatin River as well, where these rivers combined. And right here, you can just put in kayaks. There's a boat ramp right here, and I've created videos actually standing on this kind of jetty. Let's see if we can see anything up here. But overall, yeah, it's such a pretty area, attractive area to be. So West Linn's definitely a top pick for an area to be if you want to be kind of south of Portland. Now, the benefit of the fact that you're west of the Willamette River is that if you're working in, say, for example, Beaverton, Silicon Forest area, where you have a lot of the tech jobs, or Hillsboro, a lot of the tech jobs, it's a lot easier to get to. So that's kind of a good area. And then also, if you're working in downtown Portland, it's kind of a straight shot up there, up the 43, or you can even go around onto the 5 as well. But yeah, it's a wonderful area. House prices, I mentioned, this is a little bit more expensive than places. This is a more affluent area, but it's definitely a lot more affordable than Lake Oswego. So you got a similar quality of life, but definitely more affordable. Homes are going to start in the Willamette area in the 700,000s. Probably similar as well in the kind of on the hills as well. There's plenty of townhomes up here as well, condos. Right near kind of where the Safeway is, kind of right around here. You've got some apartments along here, so there's plenty of options that are a little bit more affordable. But West Linn, a wonderful, charming place to be. Okay, so now moving further east, Happy Valley. Is it truly a happy place to be? I think so. I think Happy Valley is charming. If you want to be close to nature, Scouters Mountain, right here is great. And you can see right here, Holt Homes, brand new construction, kind of at the base of this mountain. It's lots of walking trails. This is very steep around here. Okay, so you can see kind of this roads up here are very steep. Lots of new construction going on, just kind of the east part of Scouters Mountain. But yeah, Happy Valley is great. I feel like there's a good mix here, a good mix of larger homes here, and then comes some of that newer construction. Again, you see it's got the word valley in part of the name. That means that a lot of the houses around the area are quite steep and quite hilly, looking down with some fantastic views as well. You'll find a larger homes to be a little bit larger here than other areas, and that means that the average price for a home is a little bit more expensive here. But that's because the house is larger. The actual like for like is a bit more affordable here because you get a bit more for your money. So even though homes might start in the 800,000s, you're getting actually a larger property in Happy Valley. A great school system as well. So overall, a very good place to be. And then you got so many good places along Sunnyside Road for food. The Happy Valley food carts are right here. I'll put some B-roll up so you can see with my time in that area, but overall, yeah, kind of a fun spot to be, kind of surrounded by, yeah, so you can see the food carts on the outside, and this kind of interior food hall, kind of another like gathering place for a good meal. And then they've got, you know, newer buildings and newer, yeah, they're actually building more in part of the town itself. So more shopping areas as well, and there's actually this area right to here as well is newer in terms of bars, restaurants, cafes. But the one negative I will say about Happy Valley, there isn't like an old school walkable downtown adorable area. It's strip malls, but they're nice. It's more like shopping areas. It's not kind of that old school ugly big box stores. It's kind of a nicer vibe about it, but it doesn't have that walkable charming street which you'll find in many of these other areas. But overall, Happy Valley, a top pick. It'll be about a 30-minute drive into Portland, and then I wouldn't necessarily recommend Happy Valley if you're having to work in Beaverton, because it can take a little bit of a while to get over there. But if you need to be on the east side, Happy Valley is a fantastic pick. It's a great option overall. Charming area, nice homes, good views, and then this is in Clackamas County, so property taxes are a little bit lower in Clackamas County than Multnomah County, which you'll find in many parts of Portland. Okay, so working our way further east, we now have Gresham. Gresham is definitely a more affordable area than many of these other places we've talked about so far. You can comfortably find single family homes in the 400,000s in Gresham. So definitely, if you're on a bit more of a budget in some of these other areas, we're looking at Gresham is a good pick, a real good vibe. There's kind of several golf courses, and there are also newer parts of Gresham as well. But we're looking now about 30 to 45 minutes from downtown in Gresham, so something for you to consider. But if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, once you start to get away from the central part of Portland, it definitely becomes more affordable, and then Gresham is a good pick. And then one more great pick a little bit further east, if you want to be a little bit further east of Portland, and something quite different to anything else we've talked about, and that's Hood River. Hood River is not only a river, you can see this is the small river, which is Hood River, but it's also the name of the town, which is located where Hood River hits the Columbia River. Hood River is a really pretty place to be. You're obviously you're kind of surrounded by water. There's a good place for, if you're like windsurfing or sailing or being kind of out on the water, you get an idea of what you can expect, right? There's some pictures of people's boats right around this marina. There's people that do like kite surfing as well. I'm not sure if this is it. Yeah, you got some kite schools. Yeah, this guy here, look, kind of taking a surfing with a kite. So windsurfers is a good spot for that as well. And then the actual town itself, and it's kind of right along here. very charming place to go for a walk along here. So you'll find a lot of people might come out this way from Portland for a day trip. This is about an hour from Portland, maybe a little bit more if you're on the west side, but you should allow yourself an hour to get here. It's a fun place to come out. It gets quite busy in the summer, but the town itself is actually really pretty. And then of course, as we are further out from downtown Portland, property prices are so much more affordable here than in Portland itself. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this area if you have to commute into Portland on a daily basis. But if you have to go into the office, say, once a week, and you want something quite different, to be surrounded by water and just a real pretty place, Hood River is actually, a top pick. It's a beautiful area. It's a great place to go for a walk. So great running trails along here. But if you're someone who wants to be, on the river itself, then it's going to be a very, very good option overall. Okay, so those are my personal top picks for the best places to live outside of Portland. But if you're still unsure on where you want to call home, then do reach out to me. We can jump on a Zoom call and discuss what it is you're looking for, and then we'll come up with a top pick for you. Now, in last week's video, I conducted a similar map tour of all the major neighborhoods in Portland, which I recommend you consider. So if you want to watch that video next, check that out in the top corner now. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.